Tony stood beside her, saying nothing. He only looked at her with eyes full of indulgent affection. Only then did I finally realize, after marrying me, his heart had always belonged to his childhood sweetheart. For her, he gave up his identity and his family. In his eyes, neither I nor his own flesh and blood son were worth even a single strand of Amy's hair. Anger and hatred burned through me, but I couldn't even escape this tiny garage. In the end, I found a rope and ended my life in despair. Even in the final moment of suffocation, I regretted marrying a beast like Tommy. Fortunately, I had been reborn. There was still room to change everything. Tommy was so certain I'd stay with him and his family for life, then I absolutely won't. After making up my mind, I pinched my thigh hard and forced myself into a picture of heartbreaking grief. I threw myself onto Tommy's body and cried until I nearly fainted. Even the relatives and friends who had come to mourn couldn't help but feel their eyes sting. Ah, what a pity. The family's lost its support. What will she do now? If I remember right, Finn is only 2.5 this year. Poor child. Tommy's wife is going to have a hard life from now on. I received their pitiful looks, yet my heart grew colder with every word. Relatives of the Robinson family who were barely more than acquaintances understood how hard it would be for a man like me to live as a widow. Tommy, however, had never considered any of it. All it took was one sentence. She is strong-willed, for him to feel justified in pushing me into suffering. Even now, he wore an indifferent expression as he arranged Tommy's burial. Then, in front of everyone, he openly announced his wedding date with Amy. Someone asked in confusion, "Tony, why are you in such a hurry? Your brother just passed away. Why rush into marriage?" Tony waved his hand. Tommy and Amy grew up together too. His dying wish was for me to marry Amy as soon as possible and give him a big, healthy nephew. When a person dies, and only one person is there at the end, using a dying wish as a shield, and with both my mother-in-law and me keeping our heads down in silence, no one else dared to voice their doubts, even if they felt it was improper. After everyone left, Tony held Amy's hand and stopped me in my path. "Sarah, my dear sister-in-law, I have a favor to ask you. I know Tommy left you quite a bit of money and jewelry. Could you lend me a few gold pieces of jewelry to help Amy keep up appearances? You'll be in mourning for my brother anyway. It wouldn't be appropriate for you to wear gold, right?" He used the word favor, but his tone left me no room to refuse. Inside, I cursed him for his shamelessness. Forcing me into widowhood out of nowhere wasn't enough. How did he even have the face to covet my assets? I glanced at his solid, muscular build and knew better than to argue with him. "Tony, you are too polite. We're all family. Of course I can. I'll personally deliver them to Amy on your wedding day." Amy's eyes instantly reddened with emotion. "Tony, you are so good to me. You are the best husband anyone can ask for in the whole world." Tony chuckled softly and affectionately tapped the tip of her nose. "Tony, I wish I could give you all the good things in the world." Amy gave him a shy, pretended to be angry punch, her tone tinted with deliberate display. "Oh, stop it. Sarah is still here. She just lost her husband. Don't do this in front of her." Tony glanced at me. "Sarah definitely isn't that petty. Besides, Sarah, you are my brother's widow, and Finn is my nephew. We definitely won't treat the two of you badly in the future." At those words, a flash of displeasure passed through Amy's eyes. She didn't want her own husband looking after another woman. Just then, my 2.5-year-old son, Finn, walked out of the room, stretching out his tiny arms as he went straight toward Tommy. "Daddy." Amy's face darkened instantly, and she stepped in between Finn and Tommy. "He is your uncle." Finn lifted his little head, his small mind unable to understand what she meant. He tried to move closer to Tommy, but Tommy heartlessly shoved him away. "I am not your daddy. Sarah, you need to teach Finn properly. Luckily, we're at home. If someone else were to see this and misunderstand, what then? Our family has very upright family traditions." Finn fell to the ground and burst into loud sobs. I rushed to pull him up. Hearing Tommy speak so righteously, my whole body trembled with anger. I bit it back, again and again, until I finally forced it down. "I'll teach Finn properly, Tony." Tommy let out a breath of relief, then belatedly felt a flicker of pity for the child. He reached out, wanting to pat Finn's head and comfort him, but Amy spoke up. "Tony, you promised to go shopping with me. Let's not waste time." Watching their retreating backs, the anticipation in Finn's eyes slowly dimmed, and even his crying weakened. "Mommy, Daddy left. Does he not want us anymore?" My nose stung. I reached up and gently stroked his head. He won't be coming back. Mommy will find you a new daddy to stay with you, okay?